Got him. Ooh, nice trout. Head shaker, baby. This is a nice little fish. You can always tell a trout, they'll come up shaking their head at you. That's about a 16, 17 inch fish. Pretty fish. And this fish was sitting right over there on the grass where there's some running water coming out. Look at here, pretty. Bulls Bay trout, doesn't get any better. Middle of November. Folks, good morning. I'm Captain Johnny Spitzmiller, Ambush Inshore Charters. Today we're in Bulls Bay, right in Awendaw, South Carolina. And we're out here looking for the speckled trout. We got a nice fall pattern we've been on, and the idea is to kind of focus on points, oyster points, and some grass points. The bait of choice has been this grub, and this Christmas tree colored grub. Probably just the old faithful bait. Little 1/8 ounce jig head, working it real slow and just getting a nice little tick. So that we're fishing the falling tide. We had a real high tide last night with the moon phase, and just going to try to get out here and catch a few trout and see what we can do. So let's go catch a few. He hit it, the reel's light, and was coming towards the boat, and then he just opened his mouth and spit it out. Oh, there he is. Nice trout. He was off the shore a little bit too. Seems like they're not holding as tight right now.
Tell me something about him.
This trout's probably 15 inches, 14, 15 inches. Hit that grub as it was falling. It's working it real slow, and it's just a slight tap. And when they hit it, I mean, they get it. Pretty little Bulls Bay trout. Now what happens this time of year with these trout is they get up on this grass at high tide and they're just looking for stuff to eat. It's getting ready to get cold and they know it. The water temperature is in the mid to lower 60s. We probably had it even colder than that 4 days ago, and the bite was really tough. But this morning we're doing a little bit better. It's a little bit more active. But again, these fish know that the cold's coming and there's not a whole lot to eat, so they're feeding pretty good this morning. And they like to hold tight to this grass, and we're fishing the outgoing tide. So it seems like every time we come to a point of grass is when we get most of our strikes. So we're gonna see if we can't get a couple more. That should have been a bite. Such a pretty point right there. You see how that grass is coming out? Oyster shells underneath it. It's exactly where the trout like to lay the ambush bait or whatever might be coming by. You get it right on that point. This is a pretty good fish. It is a trout. Thought it was a red, but it's a nice trout. Wow. Pretty. So now this trout was right on a point of oysters. And when my bait landed on the water, it was funny, a finger mullet jumped. As soon as that finger mullet jumped, then he jumped on my bait. So that was pretty interesting. Pretty little 15-inch trout. Very nice. So now we've got a situation where the tide's gotten lower and we've got a lot of oyster points that are showing. So we're fishing the points of the oysters, looking for bait. And what these trout are doing is they're just laying low off of these points, but they're not real active right now. And we're not getting that many strikes, but fishing it real slow, and then you'll just feel a tick. And they're basically just sitting off these points, waiting on something to come by to eat. And once the tide gets any lower, then the trout bite pretty much kind of goes away. But we've had some pretty good action this morning. There's some bait jumping right over there. Look at there. Nice finger mullet. Ooh-wee, he hit that thing right by the boat. Nice sea trout. Yeah. Oh man, I tell you what. Folks, we've had a great morning. We're out here in Bulls Bay, as we mentioned earlier, and we're catching these sea trout. And I'll bet we've caught probably 8 or 10 this size. Got a couple that are close to 20 inches. This is about a 15-inch fish, 16-inch fish. They're really solid, healthy fish. So the pattern we're on is just artificial baits, fishing them real slow. If you're interested in booking a trip, give me a call, Captain Johnny Spitzmiller, Ambush Inshore Charters. Phone number is 843-971-0537. Look forward to seeing y'all soon.